I'm here today with William Clark Creen.
Howdy, howdy.
Hi! Welcome to the corner.
Well, thanks for the invite. It's good to be here.
I know, I'm excited because you haven't been to the corner yet.
I have not. This is my first time.
And this has kind of gone crazy.
Yeah.
We're checking out some of the stuff.
I think the first time I came here, which I was just coming really just to meet you.
Yeah.
I think it was the Cluttered Corner was just getting started. So
Yeah.
it kind of just looked like a messy corner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now it's an
Now
organized mess.
It is, but it looks good. Looks good.
Thank you.
Who made that for you, the shotgun?
That was made by Jeff Whitehead. Isn't that hilarious?
I went to high school with him.
Did you really?
I sure did.
What a small world.
Yep.
How funny. Well, let's talk about you're busy.
I am very busy.
And that's a great thing.
It is a good thing, and it's been a crazy. I think the first time we met was like when my album first came out. My newer one came out, and it was like a year and a half ago, and it's just been. It seems like it's been 3 or 4 years. It's been that crazy.
I know.
Since the last time I've seen you.
I know.
And I was just thinking the other day, and someone asked when my Misunderstood album came out, and they were like 2010, right? And I was like, surely. I was like, surely it was, because it wasn't a year ago. It wasn't 2011. There's no way. And I started thinking, I was like, holy crap, we're almost finished up with this new record, and it hadn't even been a year and a half since the last one. So we've been moving.
Seems like it.
Yeah. We've been. I don't know. It's been great.
Well, let's talk about your background from playing.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been that long that you've been playing.
I haven't. I would say, we did my first record in 2008, and it was more of a college project where I was still a full-time student at Tech, and we did it, and then it came out in September of 2008, and then I'll never forget, in January of 2009, I was at home, and I was talking with my mom, and we had this record out, and I was, I didn't know what to do with it, and I was completely ignorant on everything, and I knew that if I was going to do it, I had to jump head first in, or
right.
if I was going to do school, I was going to have to give school all attention. So
right. Who wants to do that?
Right. Well, I was so close to finishing, and I was talking with my mom, and I was like, we really kind of debated, what would be best for me and what I want to do in my life, and it turned out that at the end of the conversation, I was like, I'm doing music full time, and her concern was, well, what about school? I was like, well, we'll figure school out, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, and she eventually ended up pulling that credit card out of my hands.
Yeah.
But it's totally worth it, and I failed a lot of classes trying to do it. I do both, but music was priority from that point on. So I would say January 2009 is when I really started, and that May was really when we started touring, like every weekend, going out and keep being consistently busy. And I would say since May of 2009 was when we started that. So it hasn't been long.
But it's been a whirlwind. It's
been crazy, and we've had awesome help, and it's so crazy to think, we had some we got lucked out from the very beginning with a lot of stuff, and it's been fun. So
well, and talk about that help, because I'm assuming that you're talking about
Josh has
Abbott.
been a huge help. Wade has been a huge help. Really Josh and Wade. I mean, that obviously there's been a lot of people that helped me out. Greg Henry, the owner of AUE, took a chance on me. Angela Lampton took a chance on me when they shouldn't have. And, I may have been the reason of AUE's collapse.
Well, we won't talk about that. We won't ask Greg, for sure.
Yeah, well, Greg is still I consider him a very good friend, even though we have not talked, just because of the mere fact that he did jump out on a ledge for me.
Yeah.
And that means a lot as an artist who's booking his own shows. The radio doesn't know who he is. No one cares, and every gig you're getting is just you're thankful to get.
Yeah.
For have someone kind of be like, yeah, sure, come on, and that was huge at that point in time. And just recently, we were with Dave Lytle, 415 Entertainment Management, which was kind of crazy. I mean, that was a phone call. I called him and I was like, dude, we just need management. I don't know what to do. I heard you might think you might be interested. I don't know. And we had lunch, and it was. He was managing us, and then 2 weeks later, we're signed with Paradigm in Nashville, and I'm just like, what? It just happened.
Right, right.
It just happened like that, and since that moment, it's just been like, everything has just been this constant increase, and that was like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And it's been kind of crazy, so.
But all in a very good way.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, but it is kind of crazy how it all comes together sometimes.
Well,
moments of complete lows and then moments of complete highs. And I'm sure, the Dave and Paradigm thing might not last forever, and it might go back to this, like Randy says, a roller coaster.
Amen.
It's all about it.
I was just gonna say that's the life of the rock star.
Mm-hmm. He really has some songs that are really do pinpoint the scene. There's one called "When the Circus Leaves Town," which is a fantastic. It's one of my favorite Randy songs. I don't think anybody knows about it. It's incredible, and it's totally true. It's just we're like a traveling circus.
Exactly.
For 90 minutes.
Exactly. Well, and you have this new record you're working on.
Yes.
And
I'm in love with the decisions we've made for it.
Yeah.
We've got Brian Keene's wife, Rachel Loy, is producing it.
Love her.
And the funny thing about that was I was talking with Brian, and we knew on this album, and this is before we had management, we were back doing our own booking and management again, and we kind of had booking agents and managers, and then we lost them, and then we were at this moment where I was like, I need something drastic to really just keep the band together, because it was just like, we didn't have anything to brag about or nothing. We didn't have anything. So I contacted my favorite songwriter, who's Alex Dezen, who is a lead singer of a band called the Damwells, not to be confused with the Damquills. And he's from New York, now living in Chicago. And we talked to his management about him producing our records, and we were shooting some numbers out. And we talked about going to LA or Chicago or New York to do this record, because I wanted to do something like that. I wanted to do this trip, this epic trip that no one would ever forget.
Right.
And so we kind of had that working, and then me and Brian would talk like once or twice, every week or so. And we started talking about new records on one of the talks, and I was like, yeah, well, these are my plans. I told him the ideas, and he was like, well, have you ever thought about coming to Nashville? And I was like, well, we thought about it, but I'm just, I'd kind of rather go to Chicago or LA or New York. I kind of want to go.
And be different,
for
one thing.
And I was like, well, just talk to my wife, because she knows some really great producers here, and I really think that we can find something in your budget that would work great. And I was like, okay, cool. So we set up a phone conference, and it was a conference just for her to help us, like not for her to produce us. And she gave us all these names, and she started naming off, and I was like, and I just felt at ease, this overwhelming comfort. Especially the big budget we were going to spend on this record, and so I just went like, do you want to produce this record? And she was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, screw it, let's do it. I was like, book it. I was like, do whatever you did. And she's like, okay. And the next day she called me back with studio time, and I was kind of nervous because it was such like a
spur of the moment
deal. But when I was talking to her, I felt so comfortable, and she knew. It was obvious she knew what she was doing. I didn't even listen to her past work. I didn't even listen to anything. The people she said she'd be working on the project, it was way less confusing than the other people we were working with, Alex's guys, and it was way more enthusiastic about it. And so I was just like, it was an easy decision for me to make, and it turned. And I was nervous our first studio session, and then when we got started, I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be awesome, and I can't wait for y'all to hear it. So,
I can't wait either. That's gonna be awesome. So when is the timetable?
Well, It's About Time is out right now, the new single off of it, and we're very excited about that. It's doing well, and then we're talking February 5th for CD release.
Awesome.
So we worked on it for almost a year, which is crazy to even think that we've been working on it that long. But we started in March.
Yeah.
So by the time we released, it'll almost be a year, which is kind of crazy. So, and then before that, it was like it wasn't that long. Misunderstood was out.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, we were turning them out. So hopefully we can do their next project just as fast.
That'd be awesome.
And I think that's a lot of the reason Josh has had much success is because he's turned out records, good quality records, in a quick amount of time.
Yeah.
And they're good.
Well,
so,
yeah.
And sitting on records is kind of something of the past. I think now you have to keep pumping them out, keep writing.
Yeah. Yeah. So how often do you write?
This record I have 4 co-writes on. I'm a huge writer's block guy.
Yeah.
I go through stages where I don't write for 6 months, and I go through stages where I'm writing a song a day. And I have 4 co-writes on this record. One's with Brian Keene, one's with Kent Finley from Cheatham Street.
Sweet.
He wrote a handful of Randy songs. A guy named Brandon Adams out of Lubbock, who's one of my favorite songwriters, and then a guy named Kenneth O'Mara out of Lubbock, who I wrote the title track with, Rose Queen. He was a guy that I went to songwriting class with when I was sophomore year of college. We went to songwriting class together, and we've been friends ever since, you know. And we've never written together, but he's a fantastic songwriter. And one night, I went over to his house for dinner with him and his wife, and we just sat down and wrote this song. And I was like, it kind of inspired this whole record, you know.
Wow.
And he's probably the best songwriter I know of.
Wow.
Personally. Brian Keene's another one too.
He's
Brian's
badass.
really fantastic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good ones, but personally, no, as a friend, Kenneth O'Mara is. I'll have to send you some stuff and let you be the judge of it.
Cool.
It's very Guy Clarkish.
Cool.
It's freaking awesome. So.
Well, now if somebody wants to find out where they can see you and when, you know, can order the album and everything, where do they go?
A website, WilliamClarkGreen.com. All of our dates are on Facebook too. William Clark Green. We post everything on Twitter too, so William C. Green. And yeah, we're all over, so we'll probably be playing an area near you.
Town near you.
Yeah.
Well, get out and support William Clark Green. You won't regret it.
It's about time that I broke somebody's heart.